So we are live now. Hello, everyone. Myself, Mohammad Arsalan Shahid, representing IEEE Lahore section. Good evening and welcome to this professional webinar on decoding entrepreneurship in COVID-19, cheat formula to become successful in business. This session is organized by IEEE, the University of Lahore Student Branch, IEEE Women in Engineering Lahore section, and Xperteq, Learning Association for Professionals and Students. I would like to make an announcement that two attendance sheets will be shared during the session, and so keep an eye in the chat to mark your attendances. And the certificates of participation will only be provided to those who will mark both the attendances. So I'm happy to confirm. Sorry about that. I'm happy to confirm that our honorable guest speaker, Dr. Khalid Abbas, is here live with us. I, on behalf of organizers of this session, would like to warmly welcome Dr. Khalid. And I'm very grateful and thankful to you, sir, that you took the time out of your busy schedule to address our audience. Dr. Khalid Abbas is an entrepreneur, investor, and speaker based in Oslo, Norway. He enjoys motivating and inspiring others to live their best lives and is a frequent guest speaker on topics ranging from technology, business, productivity, and success. He has 16 years of experience in customer sales, so customer services, sales, marketing, product, and project management. And he also hosts a TV talk show, Redesign Your Thinking in Pakistan, and a radio show in Italy for youth. He's also engaged in research on business models innovation triggered by artificial intelligence. Dr. Khalid has delivered trainings and talks in large organizations around the globe, like State Oil and Halliburton. He is a frequent speaker in different conferences and forums, including European Union Commission, Stockholm. Dr. Khalid has a strong presence in the startup ecosystem in Europe. He's also a startup weekend facilitator, mentor, and currently mentoring startups and SMEs in Founder Institute and Techstars Accelerator programs in Norway. Once again, sir, I welcome you for joining us today. Over to you, sir. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Slan, and thanks for inviting me. So I'm really excited because this is the topic where I spend most of my time, most of the time of the day when I'm thinking future is coming, and this is what makes me happy and passionate about. So when you invited me on this talk, I was really excited, and I said, okay, definitely I'm gonna present. So go for presentation. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the title which you designed is Decoding Entrepreneurship, and in the end we're gonna share the cheat formula to quickly become successful in business. So I assume there are some students as well, there are some professional, and there are some wanna to be entrepreneurs as well. So I divided this presentation in two parts. So the first part we're gonna look into what future look like and what's coming, and in the second part we're gonna look like into the formula that how you can or how can we start something in business. So when I was thinking about this presentation, so I was asking questions based on my audience. So the first question which I asked to myself is that if you are a professional and working in any industry, in any engineering department, you should start thinking about, will my job exist in 5 years? What will happen in 2025 or in 2030, for example, in 10 years? So I can give you one example. For example, like petroleum engineers, petroleum engineering in a couple of years back, maybe in 10 years back, it was very hot cake in universities. And but after 2014, when oil prices crashed, a lot of petroleum engineer and geophysicists, reservoir engineer, geologists, they lost jobs. And it's now more than 5 years that they are jobless. So we need to think about what future is coming. So this is what we're going to address in this presentation, in first part of the presentation. If you are a student or a graduate, you need to start thinking about, when I will finish my degree, can I get job after the degree in my domain? For example, like as I mentioned about petroleum engineer in Norway, which is one of the most petroleum producing country in Europe, in the last few years, the university is finding hard for students who can study petroleum engineering because they are not really interested. Why? Because there is no job. So the students here in Europe are more advanced when I talk to the students in Pakistan because they do not have clue what they're gonna do after the job. So we're gonna raise some of the questions where if you're the student, you can start thinking what will happen after the degree. And the last part is how can I create more jobs, which means can I create some startup? If I know what future is bringing, can I create something? Can I create some small business, which is growth business? So that I can hire more people, I can create more jobs in the economy. And the last part is whether you are professional engineer and you do not have any plan to start business, maybe you can I will share some valuable skills and you can use those skills in your profession which can help you to get more, for example, salary or more promotions, for example. So this is also part of the job. So the first slide which I have, it's Fifth Avenue, New York State, and I'm gonna show you a road in 1900. What do you see here? So you see a lot of horses and buggies and cars, for example. Can you spot a car? Arslan, can you spot a car?
Let me just look at it. I think there is one motor car on the left side, uh, in
Exactly.
the third row.
So there is one
Yes.
motor car, right? Right. So if you interpret this picture from 1900, which is around 120 years ago, you see, because of these horses, you can predict that there will be a business which their business model will be the horses, the breeding of horses. Then there will be the business where they work on the carts or something like that. So I'm going to show you the same street after 13 years, 1913. Can you spot a horse, Islan? You are the only one who can speak, probably.
Yeah, but I cannot see any on the street.
Exactly. So you cannot see any horse in the on the street. So
Mhm.
what happened in those 13 years that these cars have eliminated all the horses and the carts, and that will. So it means when it's even if it is not in 13 years, it's less than 13 years because Ford launched their first model, if I remember correctly, that was in 1908. So it means in less than 5 years, the cars have replaced completely the horses. So the people who are related or who are involved in the business with horses and the carts and the baggage, they were totally eliminated by the cars. So of course, technology, excuse me, disrupted some of those jobs, but they also created new jobs. I mean, there were new jobs related to the, for example, combustion engines in the car. There were new jobs related with the tires. There were jobs related with the manufacturing of this, the car body parts. So technology always can create new jobs as well. So if we continue the same phenomena, if we can learn from the history, probably we can predict what's going to happen in 2025, in 5 years from now. So we all know, probably you have heard, the Tesla is driving testing a lot, and it's now available, the selfless driving car, or the driverless car, the self-driving cars. So they are part of them. It's these cars, it's algorithms who basically drive those cars. And guess what, they are more safer. Of course there were some accident in the beginning, but they are more safer because the algorithm is not making any mistake. So it cannot speed up, it cannot, I mean, there is no phone call, so your attention is 100% on that algorithm, is 100% focused on them. So it's more safer. And 5G is coming, so artificial intelligence, so your car will be able to communicate with other cars, and it will also be communicate with others, I mean, from the commune, for example, or the traffic authorities as well. So my friend, for example, Dr. Shahid, he has PhD in artificial intelligence. He's now working with the car company Volvo in Sweden, and he is exactly work on this one. So he's making model of this one, and this is not going to take like 5 years from now. I mean, I think 5G is coming this year, and not this year, the next year. Already in Norway we have 5G as well. So so this dream is going to happen, is going to become reality very, very soon. So if I gonna predict from 1900 the horses and the carts and this electric car, so what the future will look like. So these driverless cars will be reality. I mean, there will be more and more with the passage of time. And you also know that electric cars from the last 15 years, they have now become more economical, and they are more convenient, for example. So they are on the roads as well. So this will be reality. And for example, Norway, in Europe, it's going really, really advanced. In Pakistan, it's also coming, but in Europe, it's really, really going advanced. So in Norway, the deadline to remove all the diesel cars and petrol cars from the Norway is in 2025. In Germany, it's 2030, if I remember correctly. The same thing is in 20. I think the UK is the same deadline. Okay, so can I combine these two things together? Can I make a new business model? I mean, just imagine 10 years ago, nobody actually heard about Cream, for example, in Pakistan, or Uber, for example, in Pakistan. So what they said that every person who owns a car can become a taxi driver or car. So they make the biggest car company, or the car taxi company in the world. Can we do the same thing with driverless cars and electric cars? Of course we can. So it means now, if let's assume if I pay $10 for an Uber car, so that means if there are driverless cars, so my cost is going from £10 or $10 to $5, because there is no car, there is no driver. So the driver has got. So that means if I have a pool car sharing service for driverless car and electric cars, so my cost will be half. And then if the car is not the diesel car or the petrol car, so my cost will be even lower than from 5 to maybe £1. So my cost from the 10 will go to the 1. So of course, some researchers are also predicting this one, and I fully agree with them, because once this becomes reality in maybe 5 years from now, the manual driving will be banned, because the governments will see, okay, the accidents happen just because of human errors. Either they are overspeeding, or their attention was disrupted, or maybe there was a call, or they were busy on the phone. So manual driving will be banned. So if we could predict some of the job losses and creation, so you can see the driverless cars and electric cars. Oh, by the way, the electric cars, the battery is really important, but the battery has a duration. So that means when the battery life is over, so they need to replace new battery. What are you going to do with the old battery? Can you use some of the elements like lithium from the old batteries? So now there are startups in Europe which exactly take those old batteries and take these elements and use it. So I think the European Union is also going to conduct something on this one. So this is what future look like for this one. I'm not sure if anybody can predict the name of this guy, but he's very famous because he's related with one of the biggest event in the history. And now it's my favorite part as well, to study all those happenings. So his name is Steve, and he was working with Kodak. Kodak was launched in 1892, exactly the same time approximately when Ford launches their car, which we have seen in the industry. So Kodak brought photography to the world, like Ford brought car to the world. So back in 1900, they have these similar marketing campaign where they have these pictures, and they advertise that wherever you go, your camera goes with you. So their business model is similar like this one. I'm not sure how old are you. If you are old enough like Arslan, you probably have seen this one. So they have these films. So you put the films in the camera, and you take the pictures like 30, and then you go to the lab, Kodak film lab. So they develop their pictures into the printing, and you get a new model. So this is the reoccurring model. But if I have to start back in 1960s, if I have to start a camera company, probably it was not possible. Why? Because the Kodak has a huge investment in all this development and films, and it was not possible ordinary person to start, because that's required a lot of film. So Steve was the first person who invented the first digital camera in Kodak in 1975. So he was very excited. This is the first digital camera, look like this size and the weight. So he went to the management, and he showed that we do not need this the films, so maybe we can do this. But the management said, do not tell anyone. Why? Because they have the huge investments in chemical, paper, and film industry, and they do not want people to move into the digital photography. But then in 1980s and in 1990s, Japanese companies like Fuji and Sony, they launched their digital camera, and it took away the business from Kodak. And Kodak tried to launch their own one, but it was too late. And then in 1990 and then 2000, they laid off people. And then in 2005, they laid off again, and 2008, and ultimately they went bankrupt in 2012. So one of the biggest company in the history, I think the Kodak was the first company ever in 1960 who crossed $1 billion revenue. It was one of the biggest in the world, and it was the same company who covered the landing of man on moon and went bankrupt because they just neglected one simple thing: the innovation. Same story with Nokia. Nokia was the biggest corporation in the world. In 2007, they had 1 billion customer, 73% market share. But then Apple launched Smart Screen, and they could not copy this one. And ultimately, in 2010, the market share was 23%. So they lost everything. And ultimately, in 2012-13, they had to sell their business cellular division to Microsoft. The CEO cried in the beginning and said that we did not do anything wrong, but we somehow lost. That means even if you do not do bad, you still can get out of the business because you are neglecting the technology advancements. Same story with BlackBerry. Same thing I can go with many entities, but actually you got the point. So starting from the horses and carts, and then with electric cars, and then with this Kodak and this Nokia, we can see that the important lesson which we can take is creativity is there. So we need to, even if you are the organization need to continuously do creativity and continuously convert to look into the innovation what's coming. And of course, the leadership is very important. And same thing is with your career as well. So this is what I live my life with this code. Don't be overconfident, stay hungry, stay foolish, keep on learning this one. McKinsey, that's my slide which I gave in Norway a couple of years ago in 2017. So we wanted to look how many jobs will be eliminated, or how many jobs will be replaced by machines in a couple of years. So I read the report with McKinsey, and they said that in 2030, which is 10 years from now, 90% of jobs will be replaced by machines or artificial intelligence. And in 2022, the World Economic Forum predicted that 133 million new jobs will be created, but they require new skills like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analyst. But at the same time, in 2 years, 75 million jobs will be eliminated. And back in 2017, the robotic bank was launched in Shanghai. It was totally personless, and there was no person in the bank. So you go in the bank, and everything, every operation is dealt with reports. And I must say that in 2020 now in Norway, we have some banks who are 100% online. They even did not have a single, they even don't have a single branch physically, all online bank. So what happened in COVID-19? So COVID-19, you all know that it disrupted all the industries, and many people have lost their jobs. Can I know how many people lost their jobs, or can I know? So if I look in the history, this is the number, 22 million, and that's the number where people lost the job in 2008 to 2009. So these are the job losses last financial year, which we had seen. So some are predicted that in COVID-19, 38 million people will lose job, but I fear that it will be more. Why? Because COVID-19 is still not over, although the vaccine is coming. So there are many industries who has disrupted for this one. So it's not the strongest of the species that survive, it's not the most intelligent that survive, it is one of the most adaptable to change. So the change is coming, and what we all need to get, whether we are professional, whether you are a student, whether you are an entrepreneur, you need to know what is coming in next 2 to 3 years. So how the future look like, some of the ideas which I have read in the event descriptions, like some of the new things are coming, like travel industry is the one which is hardest hit. The planes companies are struggling a lot, and there are many bankruptcies so far. For example, people are not traveling, so they cannot meet their expenditure. Norwegian Air, for example, which is one of the lowest aircraft in the Europe, for example, they are struggling a lot. They cannot even meet their expenditures as well. So the 5G is coming, and it will definitely disrupt many of the industries like manufacturing, industry 4.0, and but it will also disrupt media as well, because live streaming like this one which we are having will be more and more common. So you will probably not watch your own TV, you will watch someone who is streaming, and then the quality of mobile phones will be also good. Digital currency, that's not something which we expected back in 10 years ago, but it's now becoming a reality. I think they will soon launch this one. And if you look into, for example, finance is also, so Ant Group, if you do not know about Ant Group, it's the Alibaba company, and they launched in 2005 like Alipay. So it's Alipay as the app of Ant Group. And now in 2020, they have the market cap of $313 billion, just one app. Very, very huge, like WhatsApp or Facebook, but in financial. Cybersecurity, all these systems are going online. 5G is coming, artificial intelligence, machine learning, even the operations are done by robots. And then we talk about driverless cars. So cybersecurity is the most and most important, because the hackers are always more advanced. AI, artificial intelligence, I think the last era from the 2010 to 2020 was apps, and it revolutionized the whole world. And the next from 2020 to 2030 will be the artificial intelligence, machine learning. And they also predicted 255 job categories will be totally eliminated or will be transformed. And accounting is one of them, and a lot of other job categories as well that the machines will replace. So online platform like online education, Zoom, and all those will be more and more available out there. Any questions so far?
Yeah, we have some. Okay, so there's a question. Why did Nokia get setback?
Nokia gets set back because once you are the market leader, you have become more confident on this one. So I tried to look into this one as well. So it was not the fault of their people; it was the fault of the leadership, because leadership neglected what they coming in future. For example, when Steve Jobs launched this smart screen in 2008, 2009, all other companies quickly rushed this one. For example, Samsung, Motorola, and all of the company. So Nokia is the one who said that no, this is something for kids, and people still like, or the executives or the business professional, they still like these keywords, and they will stick with the Nokia phone. And that's probably the one of the biggest mistake they had. If they quickly go launch at this one, they probably would not have lost the market share from 78% to zero, right? So the one thing which is on the leadership side, it's probably the top 1-2% of the leaders of the Nokia. They did this one. And the other thing is they were not so much looking into the innovation, because innovation and creativity takes a lot of R&D budget from their company. So I read, I think it's one of the book which I have on my table as well. They also reduced their R&D budget on this one. So the first thing which they have in 1960s or 1970s or 1980s, the one thing which made them the world leader, they actually reduced that activity. So this is something which which I feel like, based on my study, Nokia was one of the loser in that competition. Any other questions before we resume the second part of the presentation?
Yes,
How to start business?
there is a question. How
Oh
to
yes,
start
yes.
business during COVID-19?
We're gonna come to this one. We're coming to this one. Any other question? Last question before we start.
Okay, okay. Um,
Okay.
I think you can continue now.
So before we go to the second part of the presentation, which is how you can launch something in these areas which we discussed, I'm going to give you some of the introduction which I have. My name is Khalid Abbas, and from the last 7 years, I have been working a lot in entrepreneurship because I love to look into the future, what future is coming. So I help people to start something in the tech side or technology side or on the engineering sides, and I conduct a lot of trainings and workshops, and this is one of my famous talk which I gave on the invitation from European Union Commission in Stockholm back in 2018. And I also conduct, I speak a lot of big conference as well. This is one of the session which I conduct from Founder Institute, where people, which is world largest accelerator program. So the people actually launch it and we train them, so they get assignments every week based on what business they are forming. So I also conducted a lot of startup weekends as well. We had a lot of funds as well, and some private trainings as well, which is and in Pakistan, I host a TV show, Redesign Your Thinking, which works with something new ideas and also with charity as well. I also host a talk show, a radio talk show in Italy. By the way, it's on hold because of COVID-19. Over there, so we got studio and everything. So this was the video, but unfortunately we cannot play because the system which we are using for sharing the presentation cannot share the voice of that beautiful woman. So how to start a business? If before my introduction, before the questions we took, we also look into something, the new industries which are coming, right? So how can I start something that I did not get failed? Is there a guarantee? Is there a guaranteed way that I cannot get failed? So yes, my if what I do, if I'm going to start something new, instead of starting something new, I probably go and do some little of research and I will start studying why they get failed, because I want to learn from them. I want to learn from the mistake of other rather than inventing my own wheel. So before we look into how to start, maybe we can look into why startups get failed. So Steve Blank, who is the father of entrepreneurship and one of the founders of Silicon Valley, he said that majority of startups fail not because they make a great product. They make a good product, but actually no one wanted that product. No one wanted that product. So you worked 1 year and you have made some beautiful engineering product, and Fortune magazine said that 90% of startup fail in first year, and that's very common in Europe as well. I have less experience in Pakistan, but like 1 year only when I started talking with this one. But in Europe, I have in startup ecosystem from 2014. I'm very much active in Sweden as well, and in Norway as well, and some other parts as well. 90% of startup fail because they make products no one wanted. Now the question is, how can you make a mistake? So the question is why people do not want your product. Two questions or two possibilities. Either you are making a shitty product and you do not listen or you do not check with the customers whether they want it, or you made a beautiful product but you do not know how to sell it. And most of the time it's about selling, because engineers and entrepreneurs, they lack sales skills. The professional, they are beautiful creative, they're beautiful innovators, but they do not know how to sell this one. So I'm going to focus more on the sales because this is what I perceived, and based on my engineering background when I was on the engineers, and I found out that I need to get in the scale. So I starting early in 2010, I went into the sales. I started learning everything. So a person can have the greatest idea in the world, but if that person cannot convince enough other people, it doesn't matter. So most startups do not fail at building product. And I confirm this one based on my 7 years experience working in Founder Institute as well. I'm conducting trainings on that one. For Nordic, I mean, we have a startup from Singapore as well. Everybody makes beautiful product, but they fail because they do not know how to get the customers. That's the number one. So so in those trainings which I conduct over there, by the way, we charge a huge amount from them, and we also charge the percentage in the company like 5%. So I always tell them, what is business? Business is important. So it's very simple equation. You have some product, you find someone who need that product in very, very simple equation. It's not about, in the beginning, they say, oh, we have Facebook page and 10,000 people like it. That means we are doing something right. If you go to these 10,000 people and ask them to buy your product, probably no one buy that. That's the hard reality. So I try to remind them, your job is to create money. Your job is to make money. So Peter, which has wrote many books on the business and the marketing. He said the purpose of business is to create and keep a customer. Create and keep it. So if you look at all the big companies like Facebook, Google, Insta, what they did, first they created you. I mean, the customer is created when you sign up for their app. They created you, right? So they created a customer. customer. How? Because they send you notifications. So every morning, then that becomes your habit. So they keep that customer. Keeping a customer is very important. So remember my first important tip, which is sales. And even if you are an engineer and you have no plan to start a company, you still get the sales skills. Why? Because the presentation skill, the communication skill, the negotiation skills, um, the sales skill, these are the skills which can give you very much good progress and promotions in your career as well. So when I started my career, for example, in Europe, after I worked a few years in Pakistan as well, when I learned this one and I started to enhance my sales skills, it definitely worked, or it definitely enhanced my skills. So I'm gonna give you next few slide. Aslan, are you there?
Yes, I'm
In the
here.
next few slides, I'm gonna give you some examples uh,
Khalid
from
bhai,
an engineer.
I guess
Yep.
you were muted for a while. It's
Sorry, say
okay.
again, please.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's
Go
okay.
on.
Okay. So what I'm gonna share in the next few slides, I'm gonna share you. Aslan, this is a real example I had with your with one of your meetings. I had a conversation. He's an engineer, but he's a beautiful artist. I'm gonna show you one example. See this one. A great person, great artistic ability. I mean, very good fetch. I have not seen such a beautiful one. Check again. This one, amazing. This one, amazing. He's an engineer, but this is when I looked in this and I said, wow, why not you go and sell this one? And he said, I do not know where to sell it. I do not know how to make money out of it. So your skills are on your desktop. You cannot make money. So that's the dilemma with very talented people in Pakistan and all over the world. They do not know how to sell. So that's why sales is the most profitable, or sales is the something which, if you learn on sales, that's gonna give you a lot of return on in your career. So let's take a break, and Islan is gonna give you some
Okay.
quiz on this
Yes.
one. Couple of minutes.
Okay, so
Islan, over to you.
participants, yeah, I'm on it. There are 6 words related to the entrepreneurship and business in this grid, and in possible horizontal and vertical directions. And the participants are supposed to write their answers, like, for example, it's R1. If the word is in R1, so write R1 and the word with it. So you have to write in a single message. The winner will be announced, who the one who writes 5 words first in the chat in a single message, and then the runner-up will be announced. So you have to write it in a single message. So good luck, everyone. I'm looking for the
How much is the
answers.
time?
It's 9:33.
No, I mean, how much time they have to give you the answers?
Okay, the one who will first write the 5 letter words will be the winner. I have also sent an example in the chat. Okay, everyone, hurry up. Okay, see, somebody has posted 2. You can make sure that you send all the answers in one single message, not multiple messages. You have to write in a single message at least 5 words. We're still waiting. Again, let me tell you, you have to write in a single message, not in multiple messages. You have to write all the words in a single message. Okay, the words are related to business, entrepreneurship. Khalid bhai, somebody is saying in the chat, your art is, and there are some icons.
Yeah, I'm reading that one. Would you like to reveal whose creativity was that?
Many of them I actually recognize they are my students.
But you need to sell those one,
They would
right?
have, yeah, I think so. Okay,
It's Kainat
okay, we
Fatma.
have, yes, she shared four words. Yes, okay, Kainat.
Is that the correct sequence?
Uh, One is profit, success, network, uh, knowledge. There is not knowledge. Two words are correct actually. Teens are profit. Three words from Shamil.
And then there's Arvind, who is Profit Times Board Core Success Art.
Core. Harvard. Yes.
If it is taking time, I would suggest maybe we can do it again at the end of the time, at the end of the
Yeah.
presentation. Is
Yeah.
that okay?
Yeah. But I
Okay.
have got the winners. I got the winners with me. I'll announce at the end. You can continue.
So can we continue? I can show the answer sheet,
Yeah.
right? Is that okay?
You can quickly pass that for now.
Okay, so the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. I like this Chinese proverb, by the way, and it says that the second best time is now. So somebody asked how can we launch in COVID-19, but I'm gonna tell you the reason why in the beginning. So COVID-19 is beautiful time. You know, the best time to launch something is during the financial crisis. I can give you many examples. People last financial crisis in 2008, 2009, when people actually launched their business. Why? Because at that time, the big companies who are, big giant, they have a huge marketing and sales, the budget. During the financial crisis, the first thing, they do not have any budget, and they are laying off people. So they are not they are in survival mode, they are not in a competition mode. So if you have a startup in the same domain in which there is a big giant, they will not focus on you. They have their own problem. So probably the best time to launch a product is in the financial crisis or in the downtime, like we have in COVID-19. And guess what? In 2021, I believe the world is much better place because we have Pfizer vaccine and the other vaccine, and it's getting injected in Europe and also in America. So that means in summer 2021, the world will be much more open, and it will be more. The people will be traveling. The business activity will resume. So if you have started now, you will be well prepared to get the customer at that time. But if you start at that time will be over because the customers will go to the already established pair. So that's why the best time is to start now. And when I talk to the wannabe entrepreneurs, the new entrepreneurs, they have never really worked in any business, they want overnight success. But actually, the VC-backed tech companies usually take 7 years to go on public, which means they have the initial public offering in stock market, and that's how they make money. And if you look into Airbnb and Uber, for example, they even took money from now. And Twitter co-founder said that the timing, perseverance, and 10 years of trying will eventually make you look like an overnight success. And I was looking to, 1 week ago, I had this meeting with the Cream co-founder, who's Swedish, and he told me that when they started Cream in Middle East, they never thought about this success, but they had this vision and mission, and they wanted to live with it. So they worked really hard, and in the end, it was very, very good. So if you want to start something just for fun, don't do it. Why? Because there is no such thing as entrepreneur profession. It's not a profession. It's not something which you can do for fun. CEO of company which does not have anything, which does not have any employee, which does not have any revenue, which you have not sold anything. Uh, it's really start with passion. It's really start with passion. So again, I can give you many examples. I have a video which we cannot place. That's exactly Steve Jobs is saying, explaining why entrepreneurship is hard and why you should live with your passion. But I can also give you the example of Cream co-founder, which I had meeting last week, and he told me that people, when I heard people in Cream in Middle East, so I said that there are three reasons you can join Cream. The number one is you want some money. It's okay to have job to make money. Number two reason is that you want to enhance your career. That's also okay. And the number three reason why you can join the Cream is you really like our passion, you really like our vision and mission statement, and you want to work hard. And he said that if you are the first of 2%, do not join Cream, because Cream is not for you. But if you are really into our mission and vision, that's where you are. Because in the end, you have to work really hard, really hard. So he shared one example. He said that in the beginning in Dubai, for example, they did not have any Google Maps. So one time he was at office at 4 a.m. and he was on a call with the driver, the Cream driver who was going. And he asked, okay, where are you? And he said that I'm at this roundabout. And he said that there are 8 roundabouts. Please tell me, what kind of buildings do you see? And he said that just imagine 4 a.m. in the morning or at night, I was on the call because I really wanted the Cream driver to be over there. So if you are really passionate about your startup, then you will get success. And the other thing is learn a lot about something. So if you are launching a startup, for example, in artificial intelligence, and you are relating it with cryptocurrency companies, so you need to read a lot about these domains, and also look about what the media is coming, what world is doing, and look what the Kareem did. I mean, this whole company approximately $4 billion to Uber, but what they did, they exactly copied the same successful model of Uber, because Uber was in states and they were sitting in Middle East, and they said that we can launch something over here. So learn a lot about something, and but look at the world as meet someone new every day. This is very interesting. And because engineers and technical people, they are very extroverted, they do not like to go out in environment where they do not know and meet a lot of people. But if you are into business, if you are, you need to go out and meet new people. So when I was not able to meet new people because of COVID-19 and also the lockdown and the restrictions. But when I was doing for this one, from the last 7 years of what I was doing, every event which I attended, I had the target of meeting 7 new peoples and exchanging the ideas. So when you meet new people, either he can become your co-founder, or he knows someone who can become your co-founder, or someone who can become your customers, or he can become your customer. So you never know. So always meet new people. That will really helpful. Talk about your idea with everything. That's the misconception which I have, like 15 years ago, that I do not want to share my idea with someone because somebody can steal it. But the ideas are really nothing worth. Why? Execution is the hard thing. You So execution is what matters most. You need to talk to your idea with everyone. Remember the first slides which you have, why startup fail? Because they do not talk to the customer, they do not talk to everyone about their idea. And that's how they miss the critical feedback from the customers. So once you do not know, you are making the product and then you go in the market and you have this plan, and you probably do not know whether you are solving a real problem. So you need to talk to everyone about this one. This is really interesting. Find one or more co-founders. Why this is more important? Because I could not find anyone in my. So I do entrepreneurship. I'm an entrepreneur myself, so I have a company, and then I teach entrepreneurs because I really like to help people. And the third thing is I'm doing a research on the business companies and new business models and all those things. Like somebody asked why Nokia failed, why could have failed. So I'm studying that. So on my whole research, I cannot find even a single entrepreneur who got successful just as one person. You need a team. So remember the paintings which I showed you? If that person is very good in that one, but he can become a partner with the salesperson. So find someone who is good where you are weak. So you can both make a preferred team. So Steve Jobs, I mean, he had the co-founders, and Bill Gates, he had the co-founders. And surround yourself with other entrepreneurs. Why? Because they can quickly give you help. The entrepreneurs are usually helpful people. So when you are stuck, you can quickly go to them and they can offer you resources. And it can also give you emotional stability. By the way, this is the real picture of the co-working space in Stockholm when we launched the GDPR company. And I had Dex at the back of this is over here. We do not have a video. Put yourself in your customer shoes. Everything you do is for your customers. It's not something which is your product. It's the customer who is going to use. So the customer is the boss. I can give you one example. When we launched the GDPR product, which is the privacy law European Union launched back in 2016. So I had this co-founder. He was from India, and he was approximately 59 years old. Very, very talented person, very experienced person. So he's background is computer science, and I was from the engineering and also from this area. We talked about the product, and then I asked him, how much time do you need, or your team needs to build this product? He said it will take 6 months to 8 months. And then I asked, okay, how much money it will cost us to build this product? So he gave me the exact number of time. And he said, how can we launch this business if we're gonna make the product? Then I said, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sell this product before even we'll make something. And I said, are you crazy? There is no product. And I said, we have the idea. So I'm gonna give approximately 70 to 80 calls, and it took me around 2 to 3 hours each day, for example. And I was calling a lot of good experience, for example, passing the receptionist and asking, could you please, and I was checking the LinkedIn and said, could you please connect me to this guy, and who is the customer, or who is the one. So I remember after 2 weeks of I found someone who was GDPR manager in one company that was a lot away from Stockholm. And I said, I shared with him my idea, and he said that he's interested. Then I said, okay, wow, can we schedule a meeting so that I can show you the product? And he said, okay, when do you have time? And I said, I'm very busy, although I was not busy. Very busy for the next 2 weeks. Maybe in week 3 we can have a meeting. So we scheduled the meeting online. And then I went to my this UK partner, and I said that I found this customer. He is looking for our product. So maybe now you can design me screen, the screenshots where you have the actual screenshot of the product. So I asked him to make the fake screenshot, which looked like the screenshot of the original product, the product which never exists. And he said, how can I make screenshot? I said, I do not know, but find a way where which can actually display the workflows and all this thing. So anyhow, we made the screenshots. We made this PPT. We went to the meeting online. We showed him the product. We showed him the functionality and how it can solve their problem. He was interested, and then I said, would you like to see the real product? Would you like to buy? And he said yes. And then I said, okay, we have so many companies who are this one, so maybe you are also busy. Can we set up another meeting in 2 months? So I agreed. Then I went to my boss and I said that, my co-founder, and said that we now have 2 months to make this product. I don't care whether you hire more developers, whether you hire more engineers, but I need product in 2 months. So in the end, we had this 2 months product. Whether it was not perfect, but it was something which we can show. So that's how you can, if your product is technical, if your product needs so much investment in time and money, maybe you can start thinking whether you can get some customer who can really fund your product. I hope you got some idea. And if you are into the software business, probably put everything on cloud, which you have a lot cheaper. And in the beginning, you have very small team, so outsource of the things which you cannot do. For example, like in our case, we did not hire any developer because we did not have money. So what we did is we outsourced our development capacity. So this is some of the steps which we did in our case, and I believe if you follow one of these steps, you can do it. This resources available online are free, and it's Steve Blank, and it will definitely help you put all the pictures together. And if you do not know about, for example, like finance and so it can give you some of those ideas. Sales course, which is really, really interesting if you are a professional student even in engineering background, you do not want to start a business, still you should take a sales course. Investment, there are some investments available, but I would try to do something with your own money. Try to get your customers, and then you will be in a good shape to negotiate. Startup weekend is something which is weekend activity, and if you really want to look how the entrepreneurship look like in just one weekend, you should learn. There are a lot of incubation center now in Pakistan. You can attend one of those. Founder Institute is also there. I'm not sure, but I think I have seen that one. You can also check that one as well. So let's recap. The first one was work hard, and the success you will get a lot. Learn a lot about something, meet someone new every day, talk about your idea with everyone, one or more co-founders, surround yourselves with other entrepreneurs, put yourself in customer shoes, put everything on cloud, and last one is outsource. Can anybody tell me what was the first one which I told you is very, very important when I shared the paintings? It was sales. And there is a reason it's not there, because sales is something which I do not see as a prerequisite. It's a mandatory skills. Imagine you are the entrepreneur, you want to start the business. You are always in sales process. Why? Because when you want co-founders, you need to sell your vision to him so that he can come into your. You want to hire other people, or you want to outsource something. You are always in negotiation business. You are always in sales business. And even if you are a professional, even if you learn sales skill, that's gonna pay you a lot. I can guarantee that one. And one last thing before we close this presentation is fear of rejection. Remember, most people fail just because they try very little, or they even fear of rejection or fear of fail, they even do not start at all. Remember, the fear of rejection is something which is part of the process. It's the success equation. So you will get rejected a lot. For example, I shared with you my story of making 80, 70 to 80 calls per day, the cold calls. It was very hard for me as well. When I called, hey John, my name is Khalid and I'm calling from Kazita Technologies and we help companies with the GDPR. Are you the one who's responsible? And said, no, I'm not interested. Thank you for calling. And that's really, really hard. That's really hard. And I made this Excel sheet where I'm putting this number. Imagine someone from engineering background, and then it goes in scale. But that's how you're gonna success. And success is 99% failure. The Honda co-founder said that at that time, and I fully agree with you, because every step is not really failure. It's learning step. You learn. You basically learn. I can give you many examples. I cannot find any entrepreneurs who were successful for the first time. Even not the Bill Gates as well. His first startup was failure. Microsoft was the second. Steve Jobs, he was even kicked off from the Apple. So there is no entrepreneur. I mean, Twitter, it was started as a location-based service, but they found out that the short form is good. I think the Instagram was started something as a location, I think, if I do not confuse, but they found out that users like the photo filter more than the other features. So they said that we're going to focus on this one. YouTube, it was started as a dating website, but they found out this is something which we should focus. So they've moved over there. So the pivoting. That's why I said that talk everyone about your idea, because that's how you will collect feedback. So it's not a completely failure, but it's a learning. In Silicon Valley, there's, if you're the first time entrepreneurs and you go to the investors, they will not put their money on you. But if you have failed 2 3 times and you learn the lessons, and they can something, they will put your money on you. So Michael Jordan, one of the best basketball players, he said that I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 30 games. 26 times I have been trusted to take the game winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over again in my life. That's why I succeed. And trust me, when I read this one, I reminded myself like 7 years ago that every year I'm gonna fail at something big, and every quarter I'm gonna fail on something like medium term, and every week I'm gonna learn something new, whether it's something where I go out and talk to negotiate with the salesman about. So for example, the last week I went to buy this Bluetooth headphones. So I went there and I said that, can I get discount? I said, what discount? No, you can't get. But then I started negotiating, and in the end I got 30% less money. Imagine in Norway or in anywhere, can you get a discount on that? No. But I take every opportunity to negotiate to find something. Even if it is a rejection, I still get some valuable lesson that how to negotiate better next time. And the second thing is that I got used to of rejection. So I know it's don't care, no problem. So this was one of the last video which unfortunately we cannot play. So I will leave you with this one. The best investment you can make is in yourself. So I have a Facebook page, which is Khalid Abbas Official. I have my own website, and this is my YouTube channel, which I just launched. Is the so it's over there. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Okay, yes, I'll read it for you. There's a question from our side: how to survive a setback, whatever the conditions are?
This is really, really good questions. Honestly, it's very, very good questions. I want to share with you my story. I have many setbacks in since I'm the coach as well, or something which I'm very, very good and motivating. So people come to me, and when they have their marriages failures or something, so I can how to wife does not cheat on you, and it was very, very successful. So for coming back to this setback, for example,
Are you there,
yeah,
Dr. Khalid?
can
Are
you
you
hear
there?
me?
I think your internet is being problematic. Maybe you can change your
Can you
connection.
hear me now?
It is interrupting again and again. Yes.
Okay, can I speak now if you can listen me?
Yes, it
So
is. I think it's
so
good.
I'm not sure about
Yes.
what kind of setback this side have, but I can quickly, if you lost someone, your closed one, that is the major setback which you can have. But even the life does not stop over there. So it's okay to cry. It's okay to get on that one. But the one thing which is very, very clear, and you should remind yourself, I have gone through this one personally myself as well. So you need to remind yourself that there is the passion, there is the vision, there is this something mission on this one. So for example, like the Joe Biden, the new US president, he has this setbacks in his life, for example. I just reminded with this one, so I can continue with this one. So he, when he was the youngest um, the senator, he in accident he lost his wife, and also probably the daughter, and one of the two sons was hardly injured, severely injured. And so at one point he thought about suicide, but then he thought that, okay, if I go suicide, what my two sons are going to do? So that gave him the motivation to survive. And then when he back in, I think, 2014 or 15, so he lost his one of son from cancer. And then he went for the presidential election. So I was listening to interview, and he said that every time I see that what my sons wants me, there was the son who died, what my sons wants me to do that. So if you have a something severely that, you find someone, just find the vision, or they find the decision to do something for them or something like that. So that will also quickly get back to you. All other setbacks, they are not just setback. They are just the part of the process. What do you think about the rise of technology in Pakistan?
Okay,
Oh,
there is
Pakistan
another
is really,
question.
really amazing.
Yes.
You know about Avinar, for example. Avinar is the Norwegian. It's the same thing of Pakistan Aviation. So the Avinar is the Norwegian aviation organizations. So I was having a meeting with the senior director of R&D of Avinar. You know the guy who have 46 airports in Norway, and he takes all of this. So I was talking to him, and we were talking about something which is B2C business, like consumer business, and we talking about something. So he said that in Europe you cannot find many people. Like how many people we have in Europe? In Norway we have only 5.5 million population. In Sweden we have 9 million. How big, how much the population is in Lahore? is probably more than to combine two countries. So he said that if we have to start something, we will probably go back to India and Pakistan. And that's really, really amazing. The other thing which is really amazing about Pakistan is that you do not have many competitors, especially when it comes to the tech sectors, for example, all the smaller players. And when I talk about the Swedish co-founder, the Cream, he said that when he went from Middle East to Pakistan, he really loved it. And he even told me that he was listening to Dil Dil Pakistan and all those things. And he also told that in Pakistan, there the kind of challenges are different, because in Pakistan, the security problems are there. So he said that they have to validate every cream driver. So they went home, their homes, and they talked to their neighbors and everything. So, so what I want to say that when we asked, okay, why you go back to Pakistan, even there are so many challenges, and he said that it's worth doing. It's one of the youngest population in the world, and the technologies are there. So it's a beautiful, amazing business opportunities are there in Pakistan. That's what he said, and I fully agree with him.
Okay.
Okay, well, companies like Nokia and Kodak, why could not they cut back in market? Honestly, it's something which is it's a good question as well. Once you lose the market, once you lose the customer, your customer does not come back. Remember what I said? The big companies, they have the amazing abilities to create a customer and retain a customer. Because creating a customer is hard, retaining a customer is easier. But once you lose the customer, it's like the other company has taken it, you cannot get it back, because other companies, if it is B2B, the other company is going to lock it for next 5 years or next 10 years or next 3 years. So you have lost that customer, and there is no guarantee that he will come back. If it is B2C, it's again very hard, that if the customer have gone back. So that's why the Nokia, for example, when they lost, so the people who have bought the smartphone have the life cycle maybe two years, let's suppose 2 years. So it means one customer, he was customer of Nokia, now he has bought iPhone or Samsung, he's not going back. So that's how they cannot get it back. Same thing is with the Kodak. Kodak was the digital one, so they did not have digital. Fuji had one and Sony had one. So the customer moved to there. Now I have this camera or I have the phone. Why the heck I will go back to Nokia? I will not go back. So I'm stick with this. So that's why it's very hard, and that's one of the lesson which you should remember, Zunair, or other participant, that if you have a customer, focus on retaining that customer. Never lose that customer. Although some customers are worth losing if they are very, very bad. What will be the future of e-policy of cars? What is e-policy? Is that an elective policy?
I don't know. We can skip that
So
question.
no, I can take that one because it's really interesting. In Pakistan, the electric policy is there, so government is doing this one, and but the challenge is the exactly same challenge when the cars came back in 1900. So you cannot drive along because you need petrol or diesel, but there was no filling station at that time. So that was the challenge. Same thing is we're gonna see this challenge in Pakistan as well. So if I have to drive from Lahore to Islamabad, my car battery cannot go up to that one, so I need to recharge this one. So we have a faster charging station in Norway, for example. In 30 seconds they can charge this one. So if you compare 30 seconds with filling of petrol and diesel, that's a lot, because you have to sit and you have to wait and you are just sitting there. We are not used to of this one, but they are getting worse than this one. Will electric car suits the atmosphere of Pakistan? Of course. I think this is something which Pakistan should do that. Why? Because in Pakistan, we have very, very bad air quality just because of the pollutions and all those things. So I think the Pakistan should quickly go back to the electric cars, not only electric cars, but to the electric trucks as well. I was reading about this hydrogen technology, and the newest, the one train in Germany, they are going to do, they are going to launch in 2022, in 2 years from now, and it will be on the hydrogen technology as well. You know, the hydrogen, it will be the hydrogen, what you call it. I did not read so much about it, but I want to read about this one. So what I want to say that the Europe is already on ahead of this one. So I think the next thing which we should do is to take electricity and put our trains on it all other things which we rather than the diesel and something like that, and that will be helpful for our health as well.
Okay.
Whenever we have lost of ideas, we can start how to start. Okay, so I will quote Steve Jobs, and he said that if you look at the genius people, they are not really genius people. They are thieves. They steal the ideas. So, and then they improve the idea. So he said that if you look at the brightest innovation in the world, they are not really innovative, the ideas. They took this something, improved 10%. And this is one part of my trainings where I give trainings, okay, how to find something where you can launch your own business. So it's a workshop of 4 to 5 hours. And in which I say, I give you the one basic idea. If you are an engineer and you know that, so if I have this mouse, and you say that there are a problem and you can improve 10% productivity, whether it's 10% easier, whether it's 10% more comfortable or something like that, you have the business. So that's how you can do. The other ways to find the idea is to read a lot.
Uh, Hello.
Gigi, yeah.
Okay. Yes, we're back.
iPhone versus Android. How Apple make more than just 8% share versus Android 70%. Okay, so you know what CPA or CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst or Chartered Accountant, they are very, very good people and they are very experienced with accounting. So what they do is they do a lot of modeling on the prices. So they say that if we have 1,000 customer and if we charge $10, how much we will have. If we charge instead of $10, if we charge $12, and instead of 1,000 customer, we will have 800 customers. So they do this lot of modeling based on that one, and in based on that ones, they can find the best modeling, the best price, and also the biggest margin. Remember that cheaper is not the always the winner. That's one thing. The number two thing is that Apple is not just selling the phones; they are selling the dreams. They are selling the brand. So you are paying for the brand value. If I compare Android phone with an Apple phone have less features as compared to Android phone. Android phone has more feature. But what it says, they are very clever in their marketing in Apple. They're very clever. So they make it a brand. So the people actually like to own their products. So that's why they pay the premium price. So they just target the premium market of the world. That's how they make more money. And this was one of the world's first company who crossed $1 trillion. Sir, how to sell a product where what practice is required to accomplish your task? Oh, I have one question. Oh, one answer, one word. Practice. That's how you learn the sales. Practice, 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 practice. Are we back? In Pakistan,
Yes.
which steps are required before starting a business? Okay, so I had this webinar with, or I have this talk show with I think it was a couple of weeks ago. The biggest mistake you can make is to start your own start your own thing. That's okay, but I think if you have a job, do not leave your job and start your own companies. What you can do is in your free time on weekends or in evening, you can join some other startup and help them. When you help them, you will actually go through the whole process. And this whole process will actually go to the one by steps, all this stuff. So you will learn a lot. Once you get this one, then you can start your own stuff. What steps? I think the steps are really, there is no standard formula. Whatever you find, for example, like I shared the painting, if you want to convert this into business, I mean, you can just go and sell it on the platform. So you sell it for like maybe 3 months or 6 months, and then you will find your own business model for that one. Okay, it's good to know why you are launching your business. Okay, in this process, it might be wise to differentiate between the business serves a personal why or the marketplace. It's good to have a why for personal why, but you should very, very much consider marketplace, right? Because your business is there to serve the market. If you do not have a market, you cannot launch something. Like I can give you one example. Let me think of example. um, let's assume that you like painting and you like to paint what do you call as these nameplates and something like that. You cannot create out of business for that one, because probably there are some uneducated people who are very experienced this one, and it's there. So what I want to say, even if you have because we also conduct one workshop where we say again how you can convert your hobby into profitable business. But there are some hobbies that actually cannot pay. So in business, you have the expense, you have the products, you have the services. So you always need to consider with this one. And so going back to this one, I would assume that you should very, very carefully consider the market and adjust your personal vibe with this one. What are the some of the mistakes you wished we could have avoided? Of course, I cannot understand. I can. How can I know that what mistake you did, Adil? I do not know anything about you. If you talk about me, for example, I think I wished I would have attended a startup weekend back in 2008 or 2009 rather than attending 2014. But that's how I got introduced into the world. That's I think that's the regret I have. Not regret, but that's something which I thought that I started late. The other regret I have, not regret, but something which I said that maybe I should have learned sales before on a lot earlier than late on the process of this one. Is there any shortcut to become a billionaire? Yes, of course. There is a shortcut. Buy a lottery, and I can guarantee you that it will also bankrupt you, or it will also make you poor. Because I read a study, which I can guarantee you, the study was based on the lottery winners, and they track after 3 years. Guess what? Before 3 years, when they won the lottery, after 3 years they were broke again, because they do not know how to keep that money. And money is something which always comes in the hand of the people when you know how to handle that money. So if you do not know the finances, if you do not know the investment, if you do not know how to make money with money, you will lose again. So there is no shortcut to be billionaire. There's this the elevator to success is not there, it's not working. You have to take the staircase. What are the qualities of a great entrepreneur, salesman, master salesman? So I would advise you to listen to Steve Jobs iPhone presentation. I will also advise you to listen to Elmas. He's master salesman. Master salesman, there is a definition of great salesman and master salesman. So one is salesman, the other one is bad salesman, the other one is good salesman, and then great best salesman, and then master salesman. The difference between great salesman is that you look, they will like this one, for example, tie or something like that. And so you can actually see that the master salesman is someone you can never imagine that he's a salesman. He looks like in a t-shirt or something like that, but then suddenly he will trick with you, or he will make you, or he will help you to make the buying decision. That's the quality of my master salesman. Want to start a business but I have no money and idea. Okay, so if you have no money and idea, probably you should start reading about something which you are really really motivated. For example, um, when I started learning, for example, like I shared with you with the sun, for example, you're on the paintings or the side. That's something which we all can do. But if you do not know how to start a business when you have no idea, I think you should go and start looking to help some other entrepreneurs. And in that process, you will also learn the process, but you will also get the ideas, and then you will also learn some of the sales as well. How can invest in best production business? I do investment. You can, if you go on my YouTube channel, you will watch investment talk. It's only 15 minutes, but it's based on my mistakes which I did in investment. So if you can link this one, that's more general, but it definitely help you to help you to make some best investment mistake, which I have made personally about this one. But when it's come to production, I have no knowledge. I only have the manufacturing order when it comes to when I study about the artificial intelligence. For example, like this book which I'm studying, Competing in the Age of AI. Harvard University or Harvard Press have published this one in 2020. And what we want to look into, we want to look into that. For example, like let's give me the car manufacturing example. You know the assembly line, right? Now they have workers. So one worker is the car is coming. The one worker is putting the other one is putting the bumper. So the car is coming in the assembly line. What if one worker goes to the toilet break? or some other. Now the 5G is coming and auto the reports are coming, so they are deploying the reports. Now the reports do not take a toilet break. The reports do not get tired after 8 months. So we study this one. So except that I have no knowledge about the production. I'm sorry. Is it possible to start the business alone? Of course, it's possible, but along the process, you will, when you start getting successful, you will probably need more team. But at that time, you will also become more successful, and you will have some skills as well. So you will get to go. But it's very possible to start online alone. Second, how to start with good idea. I don't know where and how you started. That's how we shared it. We shared the formula. If you want to start something, I know one girl in Pakistan, for example. She was an engineer, and she said that I really like jewelry, and she started selling jewelry on Dras, and then she went into, for example, like in biggest, I think in Amazon or something like that. So she's making a very handsome money on this one. Although I do not call that a very creative business or something like that, but still it's very good in that way. So you can also do a drop shipping business as well. Trading business according to Islam and how to start and get it. Islam, I think, is the core concept of Islam, which is the business. There was one person who came to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and he said that I'm very poor, I do not have any money. And Prophet said, do you have something? And he said that I have one, for example, bed sheet, and I have some other, for example, like some utensils to drink water. So Prophet said that bring that, and then Prophet stood up and I said, who would like to buy? And then one person said, I will give you 1 dirham. And Prophet said, who else can give you more? And somebody said that too. So Prophet take 2 dirham and ask this person is to get this, what you call this kulhara in English?
Uh,
I don't have the name for this one.
that is
You know, the way which you use to cut the trees and the branches, for example, the wood branches.
that is an
So he
X.
bought this one, and the Prophet said, okay, go and, yeah, the axe, for example, iron axe. So the Prophet said that, okay, go and cut the trees and sell these woods in the market and earn money. So after 10 days, he came back and he said that I earned 12 dirham. The Prophet said that it's much better than beggar, because now you have a business, and you will come when you will go at the day of judgment, you will come with bright. And there are a lot of examples I can give you, which is about Islam and the business. So Islam is the one which always tells you to do trading, for example. All the prophets, including Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, they also worked for other peoples as well. But at the same time, during the Prophet, they also did some trading as well. You know, the buying goats and selling goats and all those things. What I do when I have no money, and can I start business with the help of bank loan? Okay, so the second part I can answer the first. Of course, you can take a loan from the bank, but bank people are not stupid. So if you do not have any experience, if you do not have any business model, if you have not sell anything, they will not give you loan. That's the realistically answer which I can give you. The number two is I'm not in favor of taking a loan because of the interest. And the other thing is I'm very much, if I have an investor and he said that take my money and I take 20% or 40% of share of your company, and there is another option that I can start small. I will go start small rather than asking money from the investors. That's what I do personally. So I would advise you to start selling anything. Take anything from the market and then start selling. It will give you sales experience, and then you will have a. So for Pakistan lacks electricity, what solution will suggest to Pakistan? Hire me as a Prime Minister of Pakistan, and then definitely I can change your country in next 3 to 4 years.
That would be great.
WhatsApp is enough.
But
Yeah, I
Khalid
mean, with the
bhai,
electricity, there is something which you cannot do.
but Imran Khan also said this when he was not in charge before he came. But how will you comment on that, on his statement?
Which statement? Sorry, say again, please.
The same that if I became the Prime Minister of Pakistan, I'll just change and everything and
Okay, so
electricity,
because Pakistan
jobs,
has
etc.
if we have a lot of if we compare Europe with Pakistan, so I'm in Europe for the last 12 years, and I have seen so all the the Khalid which you see now, based on the knowledge and skills, this is the what they have given me in this system. I'm really thankful to them. But when I go back to Pakistan, we had a lot of problems in Pakistan. That's no problem, and that's what we are lucky about. So if you and then there is this something which I learned from my job, like as a project manager when I was working. So I was holding like a 400 million NOK project, which is like 40 million euros. And once you have a bigger project, you cannot do everything at once. What you do is you take that small piece, do that, and then take the other ones. That's how you do it. So it's called WPS, dividing your whole project into small manageable project. So when it comes to the Prime Minister of Pakistan or something which is you cannot solve all the problems. There are patients, and it's rotten bureaucratic process which over there. I'm very against about the bureaucratic process. But what you can do is you can take one institute, like for example, like police or court, or take one institute based on your mission statement, Tehreek-e-Insaf Pakistan. Take that one and solve it. I think that will be a massive thing which you can do on Pakistan. WhatsApp is non-profit organization. Then how it is running? Turais Sohib, that's a new information. I thought WhatsApp is not profit non-profit organization. I From the moment now, this is the new information for me. I always believed it's not a non-profit; it's a profitable organization. The reason why it seems like a non-profit organization, because their business is something which they are giving free product to you. So for example, like Google, it's not non-profit organization, but they give you product for free. Facebook is giving you product for free. Instagram is giving you the product for free. Snapchat is giving all other the apps they are giving you the products for free. But guess what? For them, you are the product. They take away your data, and that's how they become the billionaire, because they sell this girl also there. And I gave this talk in European Union Commission where we talk about this free business model, and how can you take that the data and convert it into money making. How to improve customers' interaction towards our products or service? Okay, keep them close to your heart. Have a meaningful conversation. Always meet with them. Always address them. Remember, if you always forget, remember the example probably hello, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the Cream co-founder, he gave me this example. He said that one time in Abu Dhabi, when they were doing this the cream operation, all the cream captains were busy on some jobs, and he got this booking from one guy. He needed to drive from hotel to airport, and he didn't want to miss. So he said that I called my wife and I said that go to your mom, give our daughter to her, and take them to Starbucks, put them in Starbucks, take our home car, the home car which we have, drive to that hotel, pick this guy, and drop it at the airport. He said that I sent my wife because I even did not want to get one customer to cancel that booking and one negative review. If you live with this one, you can definitely make one of the biggest organization in the world. This one. Can you do this one? That's how you keep your customer close. Not he can refuse that one. He could have said that. He could have said, "Oh, sorry, sir. All the captains are busy. We are very, very infamous. We have all people love us. So all our taxis are busy. Blah blah blah." But he said no. He sent her. So if you can live with this one, I can guarantee you the success. I hope that answers your question. How women can take part in this? Where? Take part in this. Okay, so
In business, I guess.
one tip for you guys. Yeah, so when you ask questions, that's why the communication is really. So when I say the sales is not just the sales. It's part of communication, clear communication, active listening. It's a presentation. It's storytelling. It's engaging. It's having a meaningful conversation. Presentation. So it's a combination of many skills. Negotiation. Even if you are negotiating with your wife or with your children, that's you are negotiating. If even me and Hassan were talking, we were negotiating. That's why I emphasize so much on communications and sales. So always ask a very good and clear questions. Which leadership quality is the key to run for a company? Sales, and then empathy. The one which you have feeling for the others. And then there are leadership style. I would advise you to take the leadership quiz, which is available online. So some are transformational leadership style, some are visionary leadership style, some are dictator leadership advice. Be honest to you when you take this quiz, and you will find out your leadership style. Mine is transformational, when I change the lives of others. So when I have the teams, I always, of course, I want them to do my job, but I always focus on changing their lives as well. So my leadership style is transformational, but also the visionary styles as well, because I'm always focused on the visions as well. I changed my career 3 times officially, 3 times. Please mention your YouTube channels. I can copy in the at the end of
I'll share
at the
that.
end of
I'll
this.
share that with the audience.
Yeah,
I can do that
yeah.
for you.
What is the way of to become a good entrepreneur? To start early, as soon as possible. One buddy asked me, okay, what courses do you recommend me to become a good entrepreneur? And I said that you are asking me what courses do I recommend you to become a good swimmer. There is no course. If you want to become a good swimmer, go in the water. Of course, you can learn some technique. You can listen to some of the good speakers like me. You can listen to some of the motivation speakers. You can lay in your couch and you can spend whole day. It will not improve your swimming skills, because once you go in the water, the temperature will directly interact with your body, and then if the water goes in your mouth or the nose, that's where you learn. So as soon as possible, I would advise you to start something, but do not put so much. If you do not have some idea, buy something and try to sell it in the market. That's so easy to make money. What are the leadership qualities a leader should adopt to maintain or grow their business? That's what exactly the other person asked, and that's what exactly I offered. Maybe you should take the course and start reading about this. I think the one thing is living with your vision and mission, and also the people who are close to you. Take care of them, because that's your team. Your success depends on them. Remember, always remember this one. Your success depends on them, and take care of them, and also the methodic and also the transformation as well, change their life. Is there any side effect of 5G technology? As we hear, the birds are killed due to radiation caused by 5G technology. Is it true? um, Guess what, in Norway they have rolled down the Telenor is the Norwegian company. They have rolled out the 5G, and 5G is over there. I do not see any bird falling down, but I see people people die, or birds get killed because of weather. So weather had killed more birds than any technology, for example. So what you can do, start living with this one. Honestly, there are some rumors going on, like we have seen the rumors for vaccine as well, but there is no reality, at least to our standard. Of course, there might be some side effect, but that's how we live it. For example, there are side effects of cars as well. You can get an accident, the car can get explosion, but you're still there. So your job is, or the companies try to minimize their risk. And I can assure you there is no severe side effect for 5G. Why? Because Europe is not Pakistan. I mean, the Norway is not Pakistan. The European Union, they take the health of European Union citizen very much serious, very, very much serious. If there is a single possibilities that it can harm any human life, they will never allow that one. So if they have allowed it 5G, so that means that, and that's why a vaccine is also there. There are no side effects. That's what we are saying. How to get funding for your startups? If you have something related to data driven, you can contact me, and we can start thinking on this one, and I can let you know if there are funding available in my network and also with the other network. What is your idea, and how much customer do you have, how many so this is what we want to see. What is the recent enormous quick success of UAE? Now that Dubai holds many Guinness World Records like exotic cars, towers, and etc. Although it's not related with our business or the topic of our, but I still like to give you something which is very related with our presentation. Dubai leadership. If you look at the political leadership, it's exactly the same leadership which you have in your startups. So that your leadership vision define your country, your leadership vision define your startup as well. Dubai has honest leadership. and visionary leadership. So they know exactly what the vision for look like. I mean, look at the, you heard about the bitcoins and blockchain. So Dubai is the first government in the world who became the blockchain based Dubai government. So I'm very much amazed about this Dubai government, and also the UAE, and also about the other world, other Arab countries, if they are visionary. More questions?
Uh, I think yes, there's one more.
Majority of students are giving tuitions for money. Will you suggest a particular business for students? Okay, I think giving tuitions is good. For example, when I went into tuitions after my FSC, the first student I got, I teach him for free. I taught him free. Why? Because I wanted to learn the skills, and I also wanted to. So the second one I got for 300, and then it was so I taught it, for example, like only 6 months, just to get an experience for this one. It's okay if you are there's no shame for teaching the tuitions, but when it comes to the business, I would suggest you to find some easy business, like maybe buying something on low price and then getting in the market and selling it. So if I will be at your place, I will probably, at that time when I was in student at that time in Pakistan, nobody actually told me. But if I go back in Pakistan, if I have to do it from the scratch, I will probably do it like a trading or something like that. I will check in the market what is their need, and then I will go to the wholesales or manufacturers and get that one and try to ship it over there. Thank you so much for having me. I mean,
Khalid,
thank you very
Dr.
much.
Khalid,
It's really
we have
impressive.
so many questions. Actually, there are too many questions. Actually, we cannot take them all because the session has already, you know, gone for more than the limit. So, but still, people are sending questions. I think we can share your details on our pages, and they can contact you and send you
Yeah,
the queries.
I can yeah, write you here. Maybe you can then ship. You can transfer. You can put it over there before we can.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Is that okay? Just a minute. So for Facebook, which is where you will get my official is I can share with you here.
Oh, yes, I have got
So
it.
maybe you
I
can
shared
share
it
with
in the
other people.
chat.
Yeah, and then for YouTube, it's new, but I'm really finding it hard. I have a lot of videos which I can post, but I will definitely gonna post it in a couple of days. So every video is like 5 minutes or 10 minutes long, and you will definitely get some idea. However, if you want me to create some videos, you can just write me some of the ideas, some of the your questions, and we will put together, and then we can create a video for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It will definitely help you, and also it will help other people as well.
I have shared the links in the chat, and thank you so much, Dr. Khalid, for such a wonderful and interactive session. At least I enjoyed it a lot, and really want to express my appreciations for you for such a wonderful talk. And I hope the audience would have gained uh, uh, much knowledge from you. And I would like to wish them luck to start their businesses. And now I would like to present a certificate of precision for you. Um, Here it is. Thank you so much, Dr. Khalid, for joining us today.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank you so much, and it was pleasure to speak you again. For IEEE and for all the networks, you guys are doing very amazing job. Because amazing the kind of questions which I was not expecting, so kind of questions and so many questions, but it was so that means people are really interested. So you guys are doing a great
yeah,
job. Thank you for all
actually,
the,
we
especially
also
also.
never had such a long session so far, and it was really good. We are still getting
Yeah, because
questions, and
I can. Yeah, I can understand why, because this is the topic where when we conduct in Norway or rest of the Europe, we usually have like 3 to 3 hours or 4 hours, something like that. So the presentation is like 60 minutes or 30 minutes, and then you have a question answer for like maybe 30, 40 minutes. And then you have another session, and then so that's the kind of, and then you usually have a break as well. You eat something, you drink something, you network as well, you connect people with this one. And so that's how it goes over there. And thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you all who attended this session. I'm really, really thankful for giving me your time and attention. It was very pleasure for this one.
Thank you everyone for joining us today and keep attending our future events to boost up your knowledge. You can visit our official Facebook page for more updates and information. We have too many events coming in December and January. So keep updated. You will get more updates on our Facebook pages and groups. So I thank everyone once again. Have a nice weekend. The week is about to end actually, and a very good night to all of you. Thank you so much.
Good night. Bye.